this is Mikal Bridges. He did something worth making fun of. But before I can get to him, I first have to roast everything else that happened in the NBA this past week. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder for beating the Boston Celtics on Wednesday and claiming the NBA championship. What? You're telling me they still have an entire playoffs to go through? NBA championships aren't determined by one regular season game? LeBron James was ruled out for 1 to 2 weeks due to a groin strain. As a result, ESPN gave their entire offices 1 to 2 weeks of vacation because it's not like their employees have anything to do now anyway. Tyrese Halliburton hit an incredible 4-point play to steal a win over Milwaukee, which means the scales of 99 have finally been balanced. SGA beat Jokic, and then Jokic beat SGA. The conclusion for the MVP race? Maybe wait till the end of the season to determine your MVP. In just his 13th career NBA game, Cam Spencer trash-talked Kevin Durant. What did he say? I don't know, it's anyone's guess. Steven Adams and Mason Plumlee were both ejected from Houston's win over Phoenix after getting into a fight, which is honestly just so inconsiderate of Plumlee, considering that Adams literally saved his life 7 years ago. If PJ Tucker's presence on the bench is going to get Josh Hart to start shooting like an actual NBA player, then I think both of their contracts should be tied together till the end of time. Steph Curry drained an incredible half-court three-pointer at the end of the second quarter buzzer in their win over the Nets, which is just an incredible testament to the type of feats you can accomplish while violently hungover. Kawhi Leonard hit a game-winning buzzer beater to steal a win over Sacramento, and truth be told, he could score 100 points. I'm still not going to believe in the Clippers. I've been hurt by them too many times. Sam Hauser was 9 of 19 on threes in Boston's win over Utah. And are we sure Larry Bird doesn't do like a sort of reverse Monstars situation where he inserts his subconscious into every white guy shooter on the Celtics so he can live out the fantasy in the current modern three-point era that he never got to? A loss to the Cavs dropped the Bucks to 0-9 against the top 3 teams in the East. Who are they, the Knicks? By scoring 35 points against Atlanta, Quentin Grimes now has more 30-point games as a Sixer than Paul George. Yeah, okay, but in PG's defense, he was distracted by his podcast, but as you now know, he's not doing that anymore, so it's all good. I will pay $20 to someone who can confidently name 2 starters from the Raptors' win over the Sixers on Wednesday. Imagine reading that Jalen Williams had his first career triple-double in OKC's win over Portland and being like, oh, okay, that's such a nice step for the young all-star. Then realizing it was the other Jalen Williams and immediately flipping to, how does OKC have this much talent? Nikola Jokic had the first 30-20-20 game in NBA history in a win over the Suns. And you'd think I'd be more surprised about that, but I understand how evolution works. Klay Thompson said he still believes in what the Mavs are building and is excited to help the franchise return to its former glory. Now, would he be saying that if it was before the trade deadline? Who's to say? Me, he wouldn't be saying it. After their win in Miami, Bogdan Bogdanovic credited James Harden, saying he's the leader and we follow by his example, which in the case of Bogdanovic, considering he had 30 points and 10 rebounds, the example means figuring out how to party in Miami while still being productive for your game the next night. The Kings spoiled De'Aaron Fox's return to Sacramento in a win over the Spurs, and you think Fox would be disappointed about that, but considering everything he said about his exit from Sacramento, I'm pretty sure he'd take a loss on the Spurs over a win on the Kings any day of the week. Josh Hart had 20 rebounds in a loss to the Clippers just 1 day after celebrating his 30th birthday. His secret? After beating Dallas, Devin Booker spoke about the difference in playing the Mavs with and without Luka, saying, quote, you can feel it when you land, which almost prompted Doncic to fly back to Dallas to teach Booker a lesson about what he can feel before being told that wasn't allowed. I think Wemby's Defensive Player of the Year case has ironically gone up since he went out for the season. Case in point, how did the Spurs let 4 of what's left of these Mavs score 20-plus points in a Mavs win? Franz Wagner forced Damian Lillard to miss what would have been a game-winning 3 in Orlando's win over Milwaukee. See, it's not that hard, Paul George, he said. The Celtics blew out the Sixers by 18 points. And you know I'd say these games used to be magnificent, but the truth is Boston's always been blowing out Philly. I guess before it used to be more gratifying. Now it's just sad. Trae Young was 21 of 21 from the free throw line in a win over Charlotte. Now, usually I'm against guys getting that many free throws, but to be honest, if you can hit all of them, then I gotta give it up. Let's just make sure it doesn't happen again. Please. People have bedtimes. Hey, look, Caleb Martin finally started playing for the Mavs, which is somehow an even sadder reminder of just how better Quentin Grimes is than him. A win over Denver moved the Wolves to 11-0 in the last 11 games Julius Randle's played in. Are you telling me Julius Randle is actually valuable to the Wolves' success? What a crazy concept for a dude who's made 3 All-Star games and 2 All-NBA teams. Shaq says he wasn't impressed with Zion's triple-double because he only had 22 points, when the real reason he's jealous is because Zion hit all 6 of his free throws. Here's how I know NBA coverage could be better. Did you see Trey Murphy's dunk against Memphis? I know you didn't, so go watch it, come back, and try to leave a comment telling me it wasn't one of the greatest dunks you've ever seen. Mark Williams had 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks in Charlotte's win over Miami. I don't know, he looks good to me. Jabari Smith Jr. tied a career high with 5 threes made in Houston's win over New Orleans. And I'm so happy to see him back after, he was injured and to see him playing well. And I'm even more excited to see him do it next season over a full year fully healthy in Phoenix. Josh Giddey and Kobe White combined for 58 points in a win over Indy. It's not the duo the Bulls fans need, certainly not the one they deserve. but considering the weird fetish they have for the play-in tournament, it's certainly the one the Bulls front office desperately wants. Gary Payton II had a career-high 26 points in Golden State's win over Portland. Take that, Blazers, for giving him the most lucrative contract of his career. The Cavs rallied from a 9-point fourth-quarter deficit to escape Charlotte with a 1-point win, subsequently also escaping conversations of, see, this is why they can't win the title. Mikal Bridges hit a buzzer-beating three-pointer to lift the Knicks over the Blazers in overtime, which earned him a well-deserved 30 fewer seconds of playing time moving forward.